committee of helpers.
All right.
and associates.
I'm making do since nothing is working. I am going to, where there's a will, there's a way, this situation. Hang on. Hang on. Gonna figure this out. Okay. I think you can see us. I think you can. We're gonna find out shortly. Because, well, it is working, so there's that. I've got one other thing working. That's promising for us. I'm gonna grab that, I think. Here, hold this and get way too close to people.
Why, sure. Hello, folks.
The computer is not working at all.
Dead. That's what I call it.
But something else must be wrong with it because it's not even charging. So
Anyway, we went
technology's fighting us
for
today.
the first time, Labor Day weekend, 1979. As we like to say, we discovered Telluride before Tom Cruise or Oprah did. And it's one of the rare moments when we can make that boast. But we fell in love with it. And everybody does, because it's in the Rocky Mountains. It's magnificent. The scenery is breathtaking everywhere you look. The main street of town, Colorado Street, looks as it does in a postcard they have from the 1880s when it was a silver mining boom town. Except that at the end of this prototypical Western street, which I think is a National Historic District now,
Yeah.
is a mountain
Yep.
with a waterfall. So it's like you're in the West until you're in the Alps.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's what they call a box canyon.
Yes.
Box canyon means
Who is
dead
this
end.
they?
It means dead end.
Yeah.
Because you don't go through Telluride.
No.
You go to Telluride.
Exactly. And if you want to go anywhere else, tough. Because once you're there, there's no escaping. To our friends on Facebook and YouTube and what's the other one on here? Twitter, that's the one.
X.
X, I will never call it X. I just deeply refuse.
Okay.
My
deeply?
computer, I don't know, man. I don't know. My computer is not working at all, it would appear. And so we have been trying desperately to get it working. It still isn't. So you are instead on my phone right now. So we've got Instagram there and my phone. Actually, I don't have to put you over there. I can actually get you closer today because there's no working computer. So yeah, we're going to make do because that is how the cookie crumbles, or some euphemism like that. You need to sit up though, young man.
Okay.
This guy. So my parents were in Telluride, as we were just saying to our Instagrams. My parents were in Telluride. They had a wonderful time as they always do. And got to see a handful of good movies, not as many as you might have liked to, but
Right.
all things considered, they saw a pretty good amount.
And the other
And
great thing about the festival, besides the films, obviously, and the scenery, which is great,
mhm.
and overcoming the challenge of trying to breathe
The
air
challenge of trying to breathe, which
at
is mighty.
8,600 feet
Yeah.
elevation,
Yeah.
is that the guests who come, and there are a wide range of guests, actors, filmmakers of all sorts, from all over,
Mm-hmm.
is if you don't get to ask them a question at a formal panel or a Q&A, you run into them on the street.
Yeah.
You run into them on the coffee line. I know that Jesse is very fond of Paul Mescal, who is
Damn straight I am. I
and
have eyes. I am no, he's very pretty. He's also Irish, which hello. And then he's an incredibly good actor and he's really kind and I love him. So my parents, just to torture me, sent me a photo of the two of them with him. And I was like, thanks, guys.
we were sitting passing the time of day on Saturday afternoon when he and his manager, I believe, and a friend happened to come by for coffee right where we were sitting.
Mm.
And I said, Paul, and he turned. I introduced myself and touted you, and we took a
What
little.
did you say? Did he ask about me? I met him in Telluride 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. Good grief, it was 3 years ago. And Daisy was tiny, and it was up at the picnic. And I was standing there with Daisy, and he came over and sort of made googly eyes at her. And it was like, yes, look at my baby, and then I can look at you. He's just charming. Yes, we are back in the old place. Finally, we've moved back downstairs. The only problem, of course, being again, my computer is not working today because hey, who needs a working computer, right? So we're on my phone, which is why we look a little bit different and possibly squished. Yeah,
Possibly.
you guys had a wonderful time, as you always do, and you met interesting people and you saw folks that, you know, we've known for a while now. You're on the flight, you were sitting with Ryan Johnson, who we've known forever at this point. And he's another.
Well, I believe, I don't know if he took my class. He's come to
I
my
know, I don't
class.
think he took it, but he's come a handful of times
He
now, yeah.
attended before I took over the class.
Yeah, I think that's what it
Yeah.
was.
But we did see his very first feature film
At Sundance.
at Sundance.
Yeah, and that's how long we've known him.
Yeah.
I was 19.
Mm-hmm. And
20, we've known him for 20 years.
yeah. And-
How is that pot? We've known him for 20
And
years.
he's got a
Great.
new Knives Out movie coming
Yep.
out this year, in December, I believe,
Uh,
with Daniel Craig.
Did you see Jay Kelly, The Mastermind, New Yorker at 100, Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Nouvelle Vogue, Vogue, sorry, Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
They saw Jay Kelly before they left. And yes, Ryan Johnson. Yeah, we've known Ryan Johnson for 20 years, which I can't quite believe. But yeah, we met him at Sundance and we've remained friendly and we see him every now and then and we always have a really good time together. He's a very sweet guy.
He's a good
and,
guy.
And he's a movie buff.
Yep.
So we just, you know, movie buff at each other. You saw Jay Kelly before you left. You actually got to see a screening of it.
Yes.
And what I'm going to say is what I always say, which is embargoes exist for a reason, though I think many of them are gone because they've been at the festivals.
Yeah.
But they don't mind if something's embargoed and you break it to say you like it.
Now, here's the way it works. It's Labor Day weekend. The Venice Film Festival.
Yeah,
starts,
Venice starts first.
I think they start Thursday.
Mm-hmm. It's Wednesday or Thursday, yeah.
Telluride begins on Friday. Some people debut their films in Venice
Yep.
and then bring them to Telluride.
Yep.
In the old days.
In some cases, quite literally.
Yeah.
Like carry the film with them to
The
Telluride.
year we saw Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah,
Danny
Boyle brought it with him.
Brought it along with him. And that was wild. That was unforgettable.
That was an amazing year.
Unforgettable day.
I remember that I had seen pictures of Laura Dern on the Venice carpet. And then she was at the picnic Friday morning. And I said to her, how did you get here? And she's like, it pays to have friends with private jets. I was like, you are not kidding. My gosh, it was so interesting.
So anyway, there's a lot of jockeying among the festivals.
Hi, Dana.
Like, if Toronto wants to say that it's a world premiere.
Well, this only started a few years ago where they actually started cutting down on this because many films would go Venice, Telluride, Toronto. Many of them would hit those three. In some cases.
And then New York, right?
And then New York. But then they decided, no, we want exclusivity. And this is in the last like 3 years that they've started saying, no, you're either going to premiere here or not at all. So if you're showing in Venice, you can't show in Telluride. If you're showing in Telluride, you can't show in Toronto.
The loophole is that you can sneak it.
You can do secret screenings.
You can sneak preview it if it's not in the program book.
Yeah, you can sneak it. And many have.
And that's how we came to see Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, about which more later.
Yes. So they got to see you didn't see Begonia.
No. And we didn't see the Bruce Springsteen movie.
Right.
Because we knew we would have an opportunity to see it here.
Yeah.
It's going to be the opening night of the
AFI Film Festival. Yeah. Which I really want to go to. I would really love to see it like that. So what else? I know there's a handful of things you didn't like that you saw, which you won't talk about.
Yeah. I will tell you that my wife was crazy about Hamnet, and so were most of the people who saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I had trouble. This is Chloe Zhao's new film, and with
Jesse Buckley,
Paul
Mescal,
Mescal,
and a little boy who I just saw being interviewed.
and others. And it's based on a best-selling book.
Yeah.
And by the end, I was very moved. The last act, if you will, the last portion of the movie is very emotional. And a friend of mine said, Jessie Buckley has the Oscar all sewed up. I don't ever say things like that.
Yeah.
But she is great. She is great. And the the climax of this film, which is about William Shakespeare and his family.
Every time someone does say the name Hamnet, I keep thinking that they have a speech impediment, and I have to remind myself that they do not.
At the same festival, they were showing Hamlet
Yeah,
with Riz Ahmed, another, different take
who
on.
helped Leonard with his luggage. Bless
Yes,
him.
couldn't have been kinder.
Bless you, Riz Ahmed.
Couldn't have been kinder. And they were also showing a film called King Hamlet,
Yeah.
starring Oscar Isaac, who was also the star of Frankenstein. And that's the documentary.
There will be a quiz at the end of this.
A fly on the wall,
Yeah.
type documentary about him preparing to play Hamlet at New York Public Theater in a very daring restaging.
How tired was my mother watching that particular film, King Hamlet? So tired that she didn't realize it was a documentary. And didn't realize it was a documentary until we were sitting at the kitchen table having dinner and my dad was trying to describe it to me and she goes, "It wasn't a documentary." My dad goes, It was. It really, really was." Larry says, "We watched Max Steiner, Maestro of Movie Music last night, and you were wonderful again." Did you ever meet Max Steiner?
I wish I had.
Yeah.
No, I did not get to meet him. But the author of that book, the author of the book about Max Steiner, who also appears in that documentary, my friend Stephen Smith, has a new book coming out on Hitchcock and Bernard Herrmann, which 1 month away from publication from Oxford University Press. And I haven't read it. I've read pieces of it, and it looks like it's going to be a great book. I sound like Army Archer at a premiere. People who've seen it say it's just great.
Do you guys know who Army Archer was? Are there like 4 of you that know who that was? Is that going to be?
That's my favorite line, though. People who have seen it say it's just great.
Say it's great. Oh God, I haven't thought about Army in a while. Yeah, you're saying I'm hoping some bitter Star Wars fan didn't yell at Ryan. Well, I think the funniest thing about when we're cutting off because of the vertical, we have no ears. Look, I promise it's still there. When having known Ryan as long as we have and having met him on the indie scene, knowing those kinds of people, it was wild when he was tapped to direct one of the Star Wars because that seemed like it didn't seem like it would be his wheelhouse. But also just seemed like it would be insanely stressful to join. I kind of feel like some of those things are thankless, you know? Whether it's directing certain Marvel films or Star Wars, people, because they're so obsessed with these, it's like I don't know, people it just takes things to a different kind of a level. And I find that to be really,
His first film was Brick.
What are you doing down here?
It's a very...
Yeah. Oh, it's chaos down there. Because Scott's been in her room. You know what? Godspeed. If that's where she would like to go right on ahead. It is extra chaotic is all I'm warning you.
We're but 1 month away from her 4th birthday. This is my granddaughter, Daisy.
Daisy, you're gonna be this many. You be this many? Bear. Where's Bear? He's somewhere. Is he in your house? Check your house. He likes to go in there sometimes.
Right there on the dog pillow.
Oh, there he's in his bed, Days. Sorry, yes. My daughter hath come down, and thusly chaos reigns. 1 second. Whoop. Is there a Laurel and Hardy documentary on Netflix?
Not that I know of.
Not that I
maybe,
but I think somebody said the other day that they were hearing that. I've been intrigued by people talking about the new John Candy doc.
Daisy,
Hi.
come on.
We're streaming, my love.
Let's go down, sweetie pie. We're going down.
Okay, I'll see you in just a little bit.
Okay.
I completely agree. Star Wars have ownership. Yeah, the Star Wars fans are nutty. And again, I get it. Look, I'm a musical theater kid, right? And so when I hear that certain people are going to be in certain shows, you go, no, thank you. And you know, you just sort of try to accept that things are going to be different. I mean, here you're talking about Hamlet, and that, you know, what when they were filming this documentary for King Hamlet, that it was a reimagining, and Oscar Isaac's version is different. And we know that this is a very popular thing, people sort of trying to put their own spin. And I imagine it would be difficult to even put a new spin on a lot of these, because so many people have tried.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and
That
how many
becomes
ways?
the variations become the cliche.
Yeah, I'd almost rather see a straight version.
Yeah.
That's just, yeah. Who the hell knows? Boyfriend is going to be in London because he's working on the new Hunger Games musical. One of my very best friends,
Ouch.
who I call boyfriend, is going to be working on the new Hunger Games musical, which intrigues me. Sure, why not? We'll see. That too is interesting, of course, the fact that they're making all these movies into shows, because again, you kind of wonder, so do people not want to go see Showboat? Like, do they want completely new and reimagined and all the rest of it? I don't know. I really don't know. Uh, it's strange to think about. I'm trying to think of my dad also started his class at USC and showed a movie that he really liked.
Called The Long Walk, which opens this Friday, I believe,
Mm.
and from Lionsgate, and it's based on Stephen King's first novel, adapted by
A friend of mine named JT Molnar.
and directed by Francis Lawrence, who did the Hunger Games
Yeah,
movies, most of the Hunger Games
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
And his editor was my guest Thursday night, and it's a good film.
Yeah, you liked it, which
Yeah,
always makes me
it's
happy.
an interesting premise, and it's well carried out. And it was a great film to talk about editing on,
Mm,
because the whole film is in movement.
mm.
It never sits still. It's about this. It's set in the grim near future when
Redundant.
yeah, when imagine this, individual thought gets you killed. Reading certain books gets you gunned down.
So it was a documentary?
Yeah, exactly.
Great,
Cautionary tale.
great.
And 50 guys, 50 young men are chosen, representing all 50 states, to go on this long walk, 5 days, in fact, walking at a pace of about 3 miles an hour.
Mm-mm.
And just, walk.
So
So,
thank you for that reenactment of walking. I liked it. I was good. I liked it. I liked it. I liked
so the
it.
camera truck is going backwards
Mm,
most of the time
yeah,
to get,
walking.
head-on shots of the principals walking. But they also have coverage, the side angle view, side angle view. How do you decide, which shot you want,
Mm,
and at what pace you want to make those edits?
yeah,
And it seems they had two cameras shooting almost always, but they covered themselves.
Yeah.
And for a first class with about 260 students, where about half of them are not film students, to try to keep things clear and explain the process.
layman's terms.
Yeah, it worked pretty well.
Good.
And
Greg's asking if you saw the Chaplin documentary. He actually moderated for that film in Telluride.
yes, I had the chance to interview
Yep.
Carmen Chaplin. Give me that book. Carmen Chaplin is the daughter of Michael Chaplin, Michael being the eldest son of the 8 children that Charlie had with his wife Una, the former Una O'Neill. And Michael published, let's see what year this is. I'm going to guess 1967. That's a guess. 66.
Hey, good guess. Good
He
guess,
wrote this
Leonard.
book called "I Couldn't Smoke the Grass on My Father's Lawn." And show the picture on the back
I will.
cover.
I will. Huh.
And so he was the first and maybe last of the Chaplin children to openly rebel
Hmm.
and to reach out toward hippiedom.
How interesting.
But he does have memories of his early years in Beverly Hills
Hmm.
before they were exiled from the country. And his daughter, Carmen, collaborated with her father on this documentary, feature-length documentary, that explores his gypsy blood, his gypsy roots. He referred to it several times during his life.
As Gypsy, not Roma. I'm asking.
Well, the politically correct term now is Romani.
Mm-hmm.
The common term is gypsy.
Yeah.
Uh,
You get yelled at if you say Gypsy now.
I know.
I learned that because I got yelled
I
at.
learned that too.
Yeah.
Which is why I say Romani. But there's no proof. But then there's no birth certificate in London either. So you cannot document
Hmm.
Charlie Chaplin's birth.
Hmm.
You can only make assumptions,
How interesting.
educated assumptions,
But assumptions nonetheless.
yeah.
Yeah. Huh. And then he did see Tuner. My mom and dad saw Tuner and they liked it very, very much.
Yes.
And you didn't see, did you see Sentimental Value? I don't think you did. Or you didn't say you did. Sentimental Value?
No, I heard good things about that.
Yeah.
And wanted to see that. We did see Blue Moon and talked to Ethan Hawke, who he and his frequent director, collaborator, Richard Linklater, have had this script for a decade.
Mm.
And it was written by the same fellow who wrote Me and Orson Welles, a film I like a lot.
Yeah.
And they've been batting it back and forth, changing and tweaking and adding and refining. And it's a very interesting film about a subject that interests me greatly. He plays Lorenz Hart, the brilliant lyricist who worked for 20 years with Richard Rodgers. They wrote one hit show after another. They wrote songs like My Funny Valentine and Blue Moon and many, many, many others. And but Hart was an alcoholic and a kind of a self-loathing gay man at a time when that
You weren't supposed to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
that was even harder than it would be today. It takes place on the opening night of Oklahoma. Oklahoma being the first time Richard Rodgers collaborated with Oscar Hammerstein II instead of
Him.
Larry Hart. And Larry Hart spends the night at Sardi's Bar, the theater district.
Famous. Very, very famous.
And Bobby Cannavale plays his bartender pal. And Andrew Scott plays Richard Rodgers, who shows up eventually for a celebratory party for the opening night. I told Ethan Hawke that about a third of the way through the picture, I looked at the screen and I didn't see him anymore. I saw Larry Hart. And that's the highest compliment I could pay. We've talked about this with Steve Coogan and John Stewart.
Yeah. They eventually did just disappear.
Yeah. And I think the film has flaws. It becomes very stage-like. It seems almost like a play at a certain point. But it's done with great care. And he's great. Ethan Hawke does a wonderful job. So that's another film I can talk about. Somebody said to me, and I didn't disagree, that the best film of the weekend was Charlie Chaplin's The Gold Rush. A beautiful restoration of his 100-year-old feature film, The Gold Rush, which is a great movie. No need to argue that point. No, I don't think anyone would. It is still a great movie. It still plays beautifully. It showcases him beautifully. And the first and last time you saw it in its entirety was when we all went to Pordenone, Italy, for the silent film
The
festival.
Cinema Muto.
The silent film festival that's held every fall, and 12-year-old you said
9.
9-year-old.
I was 8.5 or 9.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
You were fascinated by the fact that having listened to simultaneous translation, all
Well, no. So the thing about this festival is, again, it's silent film. And there was many different languages being spoken at the festival, many different languages in the films. And so in some cases you had to have translation. So you're wearing these headphones, which was my first experience doing that. Yeah, I was like 8. I was 8.5, I think.
we keep talking. Yeah.
I'll get younger. Yeah. Well, no, I only know because
Yeah.
yeah. So I forget which we were watching where I had them on, and I swear to God, I swear the person translating was eating a bag of chips. He was like chewing and swallowing and drinking, and I just kept thinking, someone is getting paid to do this. And it was the most distracting, hilarious way to watch a movie. Well, then you cut to Gold Rush,
Which was their closing night.
which was their big, so it was like 2,000 seat theater. I just remember it was absolutely gigantic, and everybody's in there.
Cinema Verdi.
Yeah, massive theater. And what blew me away, especially as a kid, was that everybody was laughing at the same time. You know, sometimes when you have to have translation happen, it can take a second.
Yeah.
You know, same if you're watching a movie with subtitles, sometimes the laughter takes a second because you don't necessarily, obviously, if you're understanding the language, you're not, you get it. That was a movie where completely silent, everything landed. Everything landed. And it was just, it was an incredible experience to have, especially as a kid, and to see all these people laughing at the same time for this film. And I'd already, even at that age, I'd already seen a lot of Charlie Chaplin, and obviously Charlie Chaplin gets played a lot in general. You know, it's not the chances of you being able to see him on a big screen somewhere is pretty good. You know, they do a lot of different stuff, and so I have seen him on screen many times. But that experience, all of those people, all of those strangers in one place in Italy, laughing, was just spectacular.
With the Slovenian Symphony
Yeah,
Orchestra
yeah,
playing live
yeah,
music score.
yeah.
That was it. Yeah, memorable experience for all of us. For all of
I
us.
swear the guy was like eating. I swear I will never forget it. I will never for the life of me. He was translating and chewing, and that just seemed insane. We learned a lot that festival, culturally speaking.
Oh yes.
We met so many different kinds of people.
That was
I'll
the
never
year.
forget the Japanese businessmen.
Yeah.
That was,
Not just Japanese, Asian. There are a lot of Chinese people.
yes,
that
and
way.
they were very specific. But yeah, anyway,
How you present your business card.
they taught us how to present a business card, which I thought was fascinating.
Yeah.
You know something special when you remember it like it's yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, and I do. I remember so much of that like it was yesterday. And then, of course, a tidbit, my parents would take me out of school to go to certain festivals. It wasn't frequent, but it happened, because they believe that I shouldn't miss these things. And I think they're right. But the deal was, because I was going to be missing school, I had to do like a journal while I was away. And I had to turn in a picture. I had to draw a picture of my favorite thing that I saw in Italy. I drew a picture of the Queen's Bar and Grill, which was our favorite place to get gelato. And my teacher was not pleased. He was not pleased with me. I wasn't trying to be funny. I was too young to think of it to be funny. I just legitimately, we were in Venice too that trip. We were in Venice for a bit, and then we went to Pordenone. No, my favorite thing that I saw while we were in Italy at that age, the gelateria that we spent way too much time at.
And my age, gelato was a highlight as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Bill Everson, who urged us to go, was a gelato fancier as well.
Well, see, I just had good taste. I was young, but I had good taste.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oklahoma and most of the shows Rogers wrote with Hammerstein were about as far away from Hart sensibility as one could possibly get. However, the Rogers and Hart songs are more fun.
Both of those things are true. I agree with both of those statements.
Yeah.
They were great talents. They were just enormous talents. Different different sensibility, great talents. Last night
Yeah, last night you had a real treat.
we went to the Pasadena Pops final orchestra, the final concert of their summer season,
Mm.
and the last concert to be programmed and conducted by and hosted by Michael Feinstein. We've been doing it 12 years, and never better,
Yeah.
never better. Just uh, the orchestra sounded great. He sounded great. He just gets better with age.
Mm.
Frankly, his singing, his piano playing.
Well, he also
He's
keeps,
also a showman.
but that's the he keeps something alive
Yeah,
that I think is pretty damn vital, and he knows that. He knows that he knows that he has the key and that he's one of the last surviving of a certain generation of songwriter.
right.
Because the people who have met and worked with the great greats firsthand, there are not that many left. You know, that's just the way it works with time.
Yeah,
And so I think he takes that very seriously.
he does,
Okay.
but also lightly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. It's
Never heavy-handed, never
mm-mm.
pedantic.
No, nothing like that. Someone's asking about the business cards. I'm going to use this as an example. So let's say, here it says Telluride. So let's say this is my business card and this is my name. When I present it to you, if you are someone that I have a great deal of respect for and or someone who is above me in station, I hold the card with both hands, two hands, and I present it to you like this with my name facing you. If somebody is a colleague, someone who I feel is equal to me, again, with the name facing you, I present with one hand. So either two hands or one hand, that shows great respect. So when you just sort of go fring, that to them is deeply disrespectful. So the idea is the name is facing the person. And then again, if it's someone who is above you, two hands, someone you have great respect for, two hands, someone who is your colleague or your equal, one hand. Ta-da! Hi, Logan. Something I'm going to show you out of this. So this handy dandy little guy is what you get in Telluride, and it tells you what all the films are, and it tells you when they're going to be shown. But the trick is that they have TBAs in there. So you have a general sense of what's playing, but then there will be stuff surprised. Oh, hi, Charlie. Hi, Charlie. So this says for Friday, August 29th, and it has all the theaters up on top and then when things are showing. And it starts to get when you get into, let's say, the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, what have you. So this is all Saturday.
So you have like 8 choices.
And you sit down
Maybe
and you
9
go,
choices.
okay, I want to go see a tribute to Ethan Hawke with Blue Moon at the Chuck. And which means you have to take a gondola. The Chuck Jones Cinema is up a gondola in a place called Mountain Village. So you have to take it up there. And that means, okay, it's supposed to end at noon. Okay, so then it takes me about a half an hour to get back down on the gondola. And then I want to go see If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. That's at the Galaxy. Am I going to be able to walk from the this to the there? Okay. Oh, and then after that, there's Tuner. That's at the Galaxy. So I'm gonna see If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and then I'm gonna stay and watch Tuner after that. And this is what you sit there and you do. Yeah, so was saying sounds like TV Guide. It's true. You sit there and you say, all right, so this is this day, this is this day. Here's what I have. You know, Sunday is the same thing where it's just packed, completely packed. And this is what we would do every year is we just all sit down and go, all right. And you try desperately to figure out what you need to see, what you want to see, what you sort of go, okay, if there's I see that they're showing such and such a lot, so I'm going to keep trying until I get to it. It's chaotic and funny, and they have more theaters now than they used to, but still.
It's exhilarating
Mhm.
and exhausting.
Mhm. But yeah, looking through it is pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Geez, did anybody go see Megadoc? Because I want to know.
No, I'm curious about Megadoc, but I hadn't seen. It's the film by Mike Figgis, a
Yeah.
good filmmaker.
Megalopolis, which somebody asked before if you'd seen it, he still has not seen it. It's they've done a documentary about it, and the poster's pretty great because it's him. It's Francis Ford Coppola just looking like whimsically somewhere. And yeah, so this movie that people absolutely hated has a documentary about how great it was supposed to be. Be interesting, that's for sure. That's for sure. I do really like the poster. This is the poster this year, by the way.
Daniel closed.
They did a really cool poster this year.
They have a
So,
different artist every year. They
Mhm.
commission a different artist to do the logo poster.
yeah. Do you have to reserve or sign up for the films because people want to see the popular films at the film festivals? So the way it works is it's really first come, first serve.
Poor
You,
people need not apply.
Jesus, would
The
tell you
only
right,
reason that Alice and I have gone to Telluride,
is they
been
get
able to go to
badges.
Telluride, is that I sing for my supper, and I've
Mhm.
done many, many, many hostings and interviews and panels over the years,
Yeah,
and I've earned my way there. And they, even given that, they've been very nice
yeah,
and very generous,
yeah,
and they were very generous to you as well.
yeah. They were.
And
They were.
so it's a privilege to get to go there.
It's obscenely expensive.
Yeah.
The thing is, just being in Telluride is obscenely expensive. There's
Yeah.
a burger place called Steamy's. Two people to have burgers, fries, and a drink is like $60. It's absurd. But so the way that it works for the festival in terms of as I say, seeing a movie, there is a line for the people who pay extra. Essentially, it's generally the people who are patrons of the festival, as in
Right.
they donate thousands of dollars. They're one of the sponsors, something like that.
But the same is true at the TCM festival.
Yeah,
The highest paid tickets are the ones that sell out fast
yeah. But I'm saying,
at
but
first.
but in this case, so you if you are on that line, you will almost always get in to see a film because it's a shorter line and they let you in first. But in general, you're just waiting in line. Like everybody else, you are waiting in line to see these movies. And that's why, as with many other festivals, sometimes you just stay at one theater. You know, you
Yeah.
figure, well, my best bet is to just stay here all day. And that way I know I'll be able to get back in each time. And that's how they do it. And you end up having the loveliest conversations and you meet all kinds of interesting people. So we feel very lucky. This is my second time missing, and I hate missing it. And so I'm gonna figure out a way to do it next year because I don't want to miss anymore. I love it too much. Don't want to do that. Nope, nope. Keep balancing, little guy. I believe in you. It's a question I like. Craig said your silence on Frankenstein leads me to believe you were disappointed.
No,
Mm-mm.
no, do not make that assumption. Um, I love Guillermo del Toro.
As a person, as a filmmaker, as a movie lover.
And I sometimes love his movies. This is a case where I love what he was trying to do, and I love a lot of what he did. I would call it a great flawed film or a flawed great film, depending on how you want to phrase that.
Mm-hmm.
It has greatness in it, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
No surprise there. But it's too long because just when you think it's sort of wrapping up, it's not a spoiler. Describing the film would have to include this, that the last section of the movie is the creature telling his own story. First, you have Victor Frankenstein telling his story or his version of the story. And then you have the creature telling his story. And it's really interesting.
Yeah.
But it ends up a very long movie, a very long movie. And I wish there was some way to compress some of that. But I don't know what I'd cut or change. And this is something he's been living with since he was a kid.
Yeah.
This has been his dream project.
Yeah.
And I have nothing but respect and admiration
Mm.
for that. It's quite a movie. It's quite a movie. And he wrote it. He rewrote Mary Shelley. He rewrote Mary Shelley with very high regard for everything that she put into her story, her novel, and that James Whale put into his original movie. And that's all I'll say for now.
Mm. That's and again, this is where you get into, to me, Um, when you watch something and you can respect it, even if you don't love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Guillermo del Toro is very much one of those directors where even if you don't, if it doesn't work for you, you can still look at it. I don't think anything he makes is a waste of time. You don't necessarily love it. It may not work for you, whatever it is, but you still have to look at it and say, but damn, you know, the artistry, the passion, all of that. So I'm sure the Del Toro Frankenstein is miles ahead of Branag's absurd catastrophe from 1994.
Well, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I love Kenneth Branagh. I deeply love Kenneth Branagh. And the only person who loves Kenneth Branagh more than me is Kenneth Branagh. So I can imagine that would be a bit difficult, especially then. He may have a bit more humility now, or he may not. What do you see?
People writing
Yeah,
it saying,
that sounds like Wonder or Rashomon, where they told the story from several different perspectives. Yeah, no, it's again, how do you take something that everybody knows and make it interesting? How do you make it your own? And I don't know. I don't know. I've been watching Wednesday. The last several episodes of Wednesday have just come up online, and I've been watching them. And I have to say, you know, the people that Tim Burton put together, the cast, but also every single artist that they work with,
Barney Walk.
yeah, for the makeup, hair, the sets, everything. There is a hell of a lot of thought, and I really am amazed by just how much they put into this. You know, I didn't love the first season. I liked it. I didn't love the first season. And watching this second season, I think everybody's a bit more in their character. And they're more comfortable. Even in it's interesting, but even in interviews, Jenna Ortega seems less stressed. She is not a super social human being. And last time with having to do all the press for the show, she just looked like it hurt. And this time around, she seems a bit more like, no, you know what, this is fun, and I'm happy I'm doing this, and that makes me happy, because I find it very difficult when you see people. It's like young Kristen Stewart, where you watched her in interviews and you thought, just let her go. She hates this. Just don't make her do press. She hates it. I'm still a bit mad at Burton on doing a live action version of Dumbo. Why didn't he turn that down? He's made, in fairness, a lot of really terrible movies.
And some wonderful movies.
Yeah, and that's again, I figure at least to some degree, you kind of have to go, well, it's different. He tries, it's interesting, even if I don't like it. You know, and he has an eye that is his own, because it's one of those things, kind of like Wes Anderson, where certain things will now only ever look Wes Anderson.
Right.
You're always going to associate it with
Right.
that. And that's it's an amazing feat to have a style that is immediately yours.
Yeah.
So whether it's the music, where you recognize the sound that Tim Burton likes for certain things, though he doesn't really use it very much with Wednesday, versus his films where there's sort of more of a theme. But I really, as I say, I think he is so confident in his Tim Burtonness, that he's just having a good time. And I feel like you feel that when you watch it. And there's a lot of passion and joy in everything they're doing.
We had an unusual experience.
That's one way to describe it.
Yeah. The year that he made,
The dog, the dead dog.
yeah, Frankenweenie.
Yeah.
The feature film, not the short, the feature film.
Oh, that was an experience. Oh,
And
that was an
The
experience.
LA Film Critics Association gave him Best Animated Feature award. And I was fortunate enough to be able to be the one to give him that award. Well, so he was there with
No,
his,
so when whoever's going to present the award to the person, this is just specifically for the Los Angeles Film Critics, you sit at their table. So you sit with them. So you know, oh,
in
I'm
the
gonna
hotel ballroom.
I'm going to be presenting to whoever this year. I'm sitting with them this year. So when I found out that my dad was going to be presenting to Tim Burton, and that Tim Burton was bringing his partner, and I was like, wait a second. So you're telling me that we can sit at a table with Tim Burton
And Helena
and
Bonham
Helena
Carter.
Bonham Carter? I went, yes, please. about as loud as possible. I was extremely nervous because I didn't know what to expect with either of them. And it turned out Tim had really hurt his arm.
He had slipped on the ice in London and done himself real damage.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at his damage. That was not the.
So he was on heavy
He was
duty
on heavy
painkillers.
painkillers. Heavy painkillers.
And he's always been very nice to me in our previous encounters,
Mm-hmm.
but he was really nice.
He was really nice that night. He and Helena Bonham Carter were so nice. And again, they are. It's not that they're not. But it was like another level. And at one point, and this is when we didn't have phones that took pictures, I snapped a picture. I was trying to do as candidly as like without being noticed, because it's my dad, Tim Burton, Helena Bonham Carter, and they were all looking at the book
Mhm.
with with all the program book. And I just snapped this photo and was like, this is the most surreal experience I may ever have. And it was just an absolutely wild, it was a wild night to sit with them. Again, they could not have been nicer, but yeah, he was definitely not on that plane at the moment. He was, bless him, he was going through it. We got to interview him at Fantastic Fest a few years later.
Mhm.
We only got like 25 minutes, but he was wonderful.
Yeah.
Again, he is someone where you understand he's a very positive person. He's very upbeat, considering that he's sort of known in this goth world, right? He is not that way. He's
No.
very smiley and friendly,
Yep.
and yeah, couldn't be nicer. You'll see him when you see him with fans. He go big smile on his face. So yeah, he loves his life. Someone was asking what we think his favorite is, and they were saying that their two it would either be Edward Scissorhands or Batman. Um, I mean Beetlejuice is pretty outstanding. I love Beetlejuice. I don't know that I could pick. I am definitely of the age where I grew up watching Tim Burton, and I just thought that the things he came up with were incredible.
Yep.
It's like nothing you'd ever seen. And we've talked about before going to his exhibit here at LACMA,
Oh,
the
the
LA
museum exhibit was,
County Museum
was
of Art.
spectacular and fascinating because they had
He was
things
him from the beginning.
from junior high school.
Yeah.
Um,
Scribbles.
It was identifiable as Tim Burton work.
His stuff looks like his stuff.
Yeah.
It just does.
There's a
And
continuum.
yeah,
From childhood.
yeah. And that, oh God, that was so much fun. That was such a great exhibit.
Who would design that ball gown dress? What great costume designers did he work with?
For
a lot of his films. Someone's going to know this.
Oh, who we interviewed?
No. Whose work was on display, and there was one particularly striking.
I think it's who we interviewed, though her name has completely left me, and both of our phones are in use, so we can't check. What's her name? We interviewed her. Remember, she was at Western Costume at the time. She was sitting in a back room.
Yeah.
At Western Costume. Can't remember. Brain's not functioning. You like Dark Shadows, Amber? I did not like Dark Shadows at all. And I'll tell you, part of my problem with it was that they tried to de-age Johnny Depp so much, and he just looked weird. Like they tried to make him look younger, and he just isn't, you know? He wasn't 20 years old anymore. And so to me, that looked quite strange. I did not love that. But yeah, man. Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas. Though remember, he did not direct Nightmare Before Christmas.
Henry Selick did.
And that's always a funny one, because people forget, because it's Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right.
Colleen Atwood.
Thank
right?
you.
Remember we interviewed her.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Colleen Atwood. Thank you very much, Colleen Atwood. She's amazing. Yeah, I like Sleepy Hollow. I know a lot of people don't like it. Again, I think it's one of those, like, when you see it, it just depends on when you saw it. I never thought it was a great film, but I liked it and it looks so cool. Plus, again, if you're around my age, Christina Ricci was like the pinnacle. She was the coolest cool that ever cooled. And that's actually part of what I really like with Wednesday is he cast a lot of people. Heather Matarazzo is in it. And if you don't know her name, you might recognize her. The only reason you may not is because she's, again, very specific time. She's in a movie called Welcome to the Dollhouse, and that's the first thing I ever saw her in. Strange as hell. She's also in Princess Diaries because somehow those two are related. But she's in this, and she doesn't work that much anymore, but she's in this, and there's a handful of other actors in Wednesday that just don't get as much work as they should. And I really love that he's just enjoyed getting into it. You know, he's been really into it. Oh, CJ, you and Amber would love each other, just by the by. You two would be really good friends. Um, anyway, yeah, I love Burton Sleepy Hollow. Welcome to the saying welcome to the dollhouse. Exactly. That's Heather. She's an odd duck anyway, but in this it's like it's perfect. She's perfect casting for this. And I love that. Yeah, Johnny Depp and Christopher Walken, for sure. Having the two of them together for Sleepy Hollow. Again, not meh, but not the greatest film, but I love it. I just do.
I love hearing Christopher Walken's voice on a beer commercial that's running.
Is there?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I love him in Hairspray.
Oh,
I love that they put him in. No, I know, but it's one of those where you just go, yeah, put him in Hairspray. Why not? Why not? Mm-mm. Well, my friends, it's always so nice to be with you. I'm gonna go rescue my mother from the toddler. And yeah, Dawn Wiener. That's what I'm saying, Craig. Dawn Wiener. Till the day I die, I will love that woman, and that is who I know her as. Yes, I'm gonna go rescue my mother from my child. It's always so good to be with you. I'm going to find a way to get my computer working again so that we don't have to talk to you from my phone. We hope everybody is doing well. And
enjoy September. Enjoy being alive and well, and be kind.
there you go.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.